every single time Frodo shows up on the screen, it's almost always him delving deeper and deeper into the darkness of what the ring is doing to him. And that slow conversion is very interesting because he's still a good guy, right? But you can see, for example, near the end with the Nazgul, jumping a little ahead, but with the Nazgul, when they come to Osgiliath, you see that Frodo already knows that the Nazgul is coming, and he almost like senses it before anyone else does. And he's just like, the closeness he has with the ring and the Dark Lord is giving him almost this level of clairvoyance that the Dark Lord has, but then it's also starting to control him and causes him to climb up the stairs to get captured by the Nazgul. So that whole arc, that whole like corruption arc, is very poignant because it makes the later, what happens later in Return of the King, very cohesive.
Like, they do a good job of, the closer he gets to Mount Doom, the heavier the ring is, right? Because like every time he puts it on, it's like he's becoming that much closer, like kind of what you're saying, in contact with like Sauron.
Right.
I don't know exactly if that would if this would like connect with why he pities Gollum, but like he's carrying the ring, it's his burden, and like
Mm-hmm.
at one point you can hear like when like Sam's like the whole time like, no, he's gonna trick us, he's like trying to take advantage of us basically, and Frodo's like, no, like don't kill him because like I pity him basically. It's
Right.
the same thing that Bilbo said in The Hobbit.
Yeah.
His voyage to Mount Doom, I would say, kind of extrapolates what the ring's doing to him. Um, as he's going there, it's like becoming a heavier burden. Whereas like
Mm-hmm.
Gollum, like he had the ring for like a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but he probably didn't deal with the ring necessarily in the same way that Frodo is, or if he maybe he did, and yet Frodo's is like condensed. It's like instead of it taking like you
Mm-hmm.
know 100 years to affect him, this way, like it did Gollum, maybe it's affecting him more quickly because like Mount Doom is
Mm-hmm.
where like the ring like once. It's interesting. It's like where the ring was
Yeah.
made is trying to get back to like where Sauron's at, which is there too. Yeah, just like
Right.
thoughts I'm throwing out there.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because you see in the first movie, right? Gandalf is talking to Frodo about the ring, and he's describing it and what it is, and he says that the ring, uh almost like the ring has its own personality, right? And it desires to come back to its master. And so there's almost a sense in which, yeah, because that's an interesting idea. Does the ring, because you get the impression, at least from, well, for sure from the third movie, but the impression that the ring doesn't corrupt Smeagol as quickly as it tries to for Frodo. And that might be a misunderstanding on my part, so I'm not going to hold to that as gospel truth. But but the but the idea may be just that, oh, the ring is desperate to get back to its master and does not want to be thrown into the fire, right? And it has some, almost like it has a knowledge that this is the purpose of Frodo, and so it almost corrupts Frodo all the more tenaciously because it understands that it has this chance to survive and it needs to survive. Um, yeah, and that's also me just throwing out ideas, but I do think it's interesting to see how uh, quickly he goes from being the one who is gung ho to destroy it to being this corrupted little creature that is petting the ring in his sleep, or right when he should be sleeping, and going insane about to kill Sam for the sake of the ring, and things like that.